Well, the one with the LA Kings here is my 100th point in the National Hockey League.
Rick Natras has a display case full of mementos from his decade-long career in the NHL. He also has this, the waiver card he needed whenever he crossed the U.S. border to play because of his criminal conviction for possessing a small amount of cannabis 37 years ago. He was the 20-year-old son of a single mom from a tough part of Hamilton. He just made it big and signed with the Montreal Canadiens when police caught him with a joint.
Well, I just thought my life was over, you know, and I'm not making excuses. It was against the law, but I thought, you know, they'll cut me some slack because it was such a small amount, but that didn't happen.
And so with the conviction, he needed and still needs that waiver to cross the border. Even with a pardon, U.S. border agents can still bar people with pot convictions if they don't have a waiver, and today's proposed legislation won't change that.
I looked at pardons before, but it didn't do anything for me crossing the border. So the only way for that to improve is if I don't have a record at all.
That's what advocates have been asking for, something more than a pardon.
Complete and permanent deletion of the criminal records of an individual, which makes sure that it doesn't at some point in the future haunt the person or impact the person as they attempt to get their lives back on track.
She says the shortcomings are particularly onerous for people who already face serious challenges in life.
What we have is a disproportionate representation of African Canadians, Indigenous Canadians, and Canadians from marginalized communities and low-income neighborhoods among those who are arrested and ultimately convicted for these offenses.
The advocates and the retired hockey player plan to continue pushing for more than just quick pardons as the proposed legislation goes through public consultations at parliamentary committee hearings. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.